What do you mean the party's canceled because I'm in the hospital? I gripped my phone tightly, staring at the text from another mom while standing in my perfectly decorated backyard. Streamers in my son Oliver's favorite colors, blue and silver, fluttered in the breeze, and the handmade Pokemon decorations I'd spent weeks crafting sparkled in the morning sun. My name is Madison, and at 32, I never thought I'd be dealing with this level of manipulation on my son's 8th birthday. But here I was, watching my carefully planned celebration unravel because of my mother-in-law, Diana. Another message pinged. So sorry about your emergency surgery. Diana told us all this morning. Hope you recover soon. My hands shook as I called Diana. She answered on the first ring, her voice dripping with fake concern. Madison, honey, shouldn't you be resting in your hospital bed? Cut the act, Diana. I'm standing in my backyard, very much not hospitalized. Why are you telling people my son's party is canceled? Oh, you're home. She paused, then continued smoothly. Well, since you clearly aren't well enough to host, I've arranged a small family gathering at my house instead. Much more intimate. Oliver will love it. I thought about the bounce house scheduled to arrive in an hour, the custom cake in my fridge, and the party bags I filled with carefully chosen Pokemon cards. The party is happening here, Diana, as planned. But I've already told everyone it's canceled, she said, her voice taking on that familiar manipulative tone. It would be so confusing to change plans now. Besides, I've ordered food and decorations for my house. You wouldn't want to disappoint Oliver, would you? Before I could respond, my phone buzzed with a group text from Diana to the entire family. Change of plans. Birthday celebration at my house at 2 p.m. Madison needs rest after her ordeal. No gifts necessary. I've got everything covered. I sat down hard on the patio chair, my mind racing. This wasn't the first time Diana had tried to take over one of Oliver's milestones, but it was certainly the most brazen. Last year, she'd shown up early to his school concert and taken his first photos before I arrived. At Christmas, she'd given him his big present before our family celebration, but this was different. The bounce house company's truck pulled into my driveway, breaking through my thoughts. As the delivery man approached with his tablet, another text came through, this time from my husband, Mark. Mom says you're trying to push yourself too hard. Maybe we should just do it at her house. I watched the delivery man's Ring camera blinking as he recorded his standard delivery video. That's when I had an idea. Hi, I'm Madison Wells, I said clearly, making sure to face the camera. I'm here to confirm delivery of the bounce house for my son Oliver's party today. As you can see, I'm perfectly healthy and the backyard is all set up. The delivery man looked confused but nodded. Sure, ma'am, just need your signature here. Of course, and could you confirm the time and date for the record? He glanced at his tablet. Saturday, May 27th, 10:15 a.m. delivery for the Wells party. Perfect. I signed the tablet, then added, and just to be clear, no one has called to cancel this delivery, correct? No, ma'am, you're all set. I smiled, knowing Diana's lies were about to unravel. Would it be possible to get a copy of your delivery confirmation video? For our records? He shrugged. Sure, I can have the office email it to you. Standard procedure anyway. As the bounce house began to inflate, I took photos of the backyard and sent them to the family group chat. Strange, I seem to be very much alive and setting up for Oliver's party. Here's the bounce house being delivered right now. Everyone's still welcome at our house at noon, the originally planned time and location. My phone immediately lit up with Diana's call. I let it go to voicemail and instead texted Mark. Your mother lied about me being hospitalized to steal our son's party. I have proof. The choice is yours. Come to the party we planned together, or explain to Oliver why his father chose to support a lie instead of celebrating with him. The bounce house was fully inflated now, its blue and silver surfaces matching my decorations perfectly. My phone buzzed with responses in the family chat, confusion, apologies, and several people confirming they'd be at our house at noon. Diana's next message made me laugh out loud. There seems to be a misunderstanding. I was only trying to help since I heard Madison was ill. But it was too late. The delivery company had already emailed me the video, showing me clearly healthy and present. I forwarded it to the entire family with a simple message, no misunderstanding here, just the truth on camera. The next hour would change everything. As parents started arriving with their kids, Diana's carefully constructed narrative would crumble. But first, I had a bounce house to test out with my son. As parents began arriving with their kids, I could see the mix of confusion and embarrassment on their faces. The first to approach was Emma, Oliver's best friend's mom, clutching a gift and looking flustered. "Madison, I'm so sorry. Diana called this morning saying you were having emergency appendix surgery. I should have checked with you directly." She trailed off, taking in the perfectly decorated backyard and the sound of Oliver's delighted laughter from the bounce house. I smiled warmly. "It's not your fault, Emma. Diana has a history of creative storytelling." I showed her the delivery video on my phone. I made sure to document everything this time. More families arrived, each with similar stories. Diana had called them all personally, weaving elaborate tales about my supposed hospitalization. Some had been told I had appendicitis. Others heard it was a gallbladder emergency. One parent was even told I had been in a minor car accident. The party was in full swing when I heard a commotion at the front gate. Diana had arrived wearing a look of righteous indignation and carrying what appeared to be party supplies from her house. Mark was right behind her, his face a storm of emotions. "Madison," Diana's voice carried across the yard, causing several parents to turn. "I was so worried. When you weren't answering my calls, I thought something terrible had happened." Before I could respond, the bounce house delivery man returned. He'd forgotten to have me sign one final form. Diana's face went pale as she recognized him. "Oh, are you the grandmother who called trying to change the delivery address this morning?" he asked innocently. "Sorry, we couldn't accommodate that last-minute switch without hearing from Mrs. Wells directly." The silence that fell over the nearby parents was deafening. Diana's mouth opened and closed like a fish out of water. Mark stepped forward, his expression hardening as he looked at his mother. "You tried to redirect the bounce house to your house?" he asked quietly. "Mom, what were you thinking?" Diana rallied quickly, her voice taking on a wounded tone. "I was only trying to help. Madison is clearly overwhelmed with everything, and I thought it would be easier to host at my house. I have so much more space, and what about telling everyone I was in the hospital?" I interrupted, holding up my phone. "The delivery video shows I'm perfectly fine. You didn't just try to move the party, you actively lied to everyone here." Parents were gathering now, many filming on their phones. Diana's face flushed as she realized her audience was growing. "It was a simple misunderstanding," she tried again, but Emma stepped forward. "You called me at 7 a.m., Diana. You were crying about Madison's emergency surgery. You asked me to spread the word to other parents to save Madison the embarrassment of canceling last minute." Other parents chimed in with similar stories, each one adding to the weight of evidence against Diana. Mark looked like he'd been punched in the gut as he listened to the extent of his mother's deception. "Mom," he said finally, his voice tight with anger, "you need to leave. Now." "But the party I planned at my house," Diana protested, "is canceled." Mark finished firmly. "Just like you tried to cancel this one. Go home." Diana turned to me, tears welling up in her eyes. "Madison, surely you understand. I just wanted to give Oliver a special day." "No," I cut in, my voice steady. "You wanted to take a special day from us. You've been trying to push me out of Oliver's life since he was born, but this time you went too far. You lied to our entire community, tried to steal our son's party, and then showed up here expecting everyone to believe your excuses." The bounce house delivery man, who was still standing awkwardly with his form, cleared his throat. "Mrs. Wells, would you like me to add this interaction to the delivery record?" "For documentation purposes." I nodded, watching Diana's face crumple as she realized every word was being recorded. She turned and fled, leaving her party supplies scattered on the lawn. Mark turned to me, his eyes full of remorse. "Madison, I had no idea she would go this far. All these years when you tried to tell me about her behavior." "Not now," I said quietly. "This is Oliver's day. We can talk about your mother later." As if on cue, Oliver came bouncing over, his face flushed with excitement. "Mom, Dad, come bounce with me. This is the best party ever." Looking at my son's joyful face, I felt a weight lift from my shoulders. Diana had tried to steal this moment, but she had failed. Instead, she had exposed her own manipulation to everyone who mattered. The party continued, more joyful now that the tension had broken. Parents shared their own stories of Diana's past interferences, each revelation helping Mark understand the full scope of his mother's behavior. The bounce house rang with children's laughter. The cake was a huge hit, and Oliver declared it his most awesome birthday ever. As the party wound down, Emma hung back to help clean up. "You know," she said thoughtfully, "Diana did us all a favor today. Now we know exactly who she is and what she's capable of. No more benefit of the doubt." I looked at the Ring camera footage one last time before putting my phone away. Sometimes the best defense is just letting people show their true colors on camera. Mark was gathering fallen streamers, his face still troubled. I knew we had a long conversation ahead of us about boundaries, trust, and his mother's future role in our lives. But for now, watching Oliver play with his new Pokémon cards, surrounded by true friends and genuine joy, I felt nothing but peace. Diana had tried to rewrite my son's birthday story, but instead, she had written herself out of our future celebrations. Sometimes karma works in mysterious ways, or in this case, through a bounce house delivery man's Ring camera. The fallout from Oliver's birthday party spread through our community like wildfire. Within days, the video from the delivery man's Ring camera had made its rounds among family and friends. Diana's web of lies had unraveled spectacularly, leaving her to face consequences she had never anticipated. A week after the party, Mark and I sat at our kitchen table after putting Oliver to bed. The remains of a takeout dinner sat between us as we finally had the conversation we've been avoiding. "She's been calling nonstop," Mark said, running a hand through his hair. "She says she wants to explain herself, that we're misunderstanding everything." I took a sip of my tea, choosing my words carefully. "And what do you think now, after seeing everything on video?" He was quiet for a moment, staring at his phone, where 15 missed calls from Diana glowed accusingly. "I think I owe you an apology. All these years when you tried to tell me about her behavior, I thought you were being sensitive. But watching her lie to everyone's face, seeing her try to steal our son's party..." He shook his head. "I can't defend that." The doorbell rang, interrupting our conversation. Through the window, we could see Diana standing on our porch, clutching what looked like a gift bag. "Let me handle this," Mark said, standing up. I followed him to the door, staying just out of sight but within earshot. When Mark opened the door, Diana burst into tears. "Finally. I've been trying to reach you both for days. I brought Oliver a special present to make up for the misunderstanding." "Misunderstanding?" Mark's voice was quiet but firm. "Do you mean when you called everyone in our community and lied about my wife being hospitalized, or when you tried to redirect the bounce house to your house?" "Which part was the misunderstanding?" "Mom, I was only trying to help," Diana protested. "Madison is always so controlling about parties. I thought it would be better if..." "If what?" I stepped into view, my arms crossed. "If you took over? If you made everyone believe I was a negligent mother who had abandoned her son's birthday?" Diana's face hardened when she saw me. "Well, if you just let me be more involved." "More involved?" I laughed incredulously. "You've tried to take over every single event in Oliver's life. But this time you went too far. You didn't just try to push me aside. You lied to our entire community. You made everyone believe I was in the hospital just so you could play host." Mark held up his hand, stopping his mother's next protest. "The Ring camera caught everything, Mom. The delivery man's video, your attempts to redirect the bounce house, your arrival at the party. It's all documented. There's no spinning this into a misunderstanding." Diana's face crumpled. "But I'm his grandmother. I have rights." "No," Mark said firmly. "You have privileges. Privileges you've just lost. We're taking a break, Mom. A long one. No visits, no calls, no surprise drop-ins. When we're ready, if we're ready, we'll contact you." "But Oliver's summer vacation is coming up. I had plans." "Plans you made without consulting us?" I interjected. "Not anymore. Those days are over." Diana turned to leave, then spun back around, her voice bitter. "This is all your fault, Madison. You've turned my own son against me." "No, Mom," Mark said quietly. "You did that all by yourself. The Ring camera just made sure everyone could see it." After she left, we sat in silence for a moment. Finally, Mark reached over and took my hand. "I'm sorry it took me so long to see it, to really see it." The next morning, we received an unexpected email from the bounce house company. They were offering us a free rental for Oliver's next party, citing the unfortunate circumstances of our experience. Attached was a complete compilation of all camera footage from the delivery, including Diana's failed attempts to redirect the equipment. Save it, Mark suggested, in case she tries to rewrite history again. Over the following months, we stuck to our boundaries. Diana's flying monkeys, distant relatives and family friends, tried to intervene, but the video evidence made it impossible to defend her actions. Oliver asked about his grandmother occasionally but seemed more relieved than sad about her absence. No more surprise visits, no more undermined celebrations, no more competing for his attention. 6 months later, as we planned Oliver's half-birthday celebration, a small family tradition, Mark received a letter from Diana. Inside was a formal apology, not just to us, but to every parent she had lied to about the party. She had written it by hand and made copies, delivering one to each family. "It's a start," Mark said cautiously, "but it doesn't erase what happened." I nodded, watching Oliver arrange his Pokemon cards on the coffee table. "No, it doesn't. But maybe it means she's finally understanding why her behavior was wrong." Thanks to one very observant bounce house delivery man, Mark added with a small smile. Sometimes the best lessons come from unexpected sources. In our case, it took a Ring camera and a bounce house delivery to expose years of manipulation. Diana might never fully change, but she'll never again be able to deny her actions or twist the truth. It's all there, recorded for everyone to see. As for us, we're learning to celebrate our way, without drama or deception. Oliver's next birthday party, it's already planned, bounce house included, with cameras rolling just in case.